So now we're going to talk a little bit more about on-page SEO. So on-page SEO does make a difference. Many of your clients will be local businesses or niches, and I'm going to show you some examples of things you need to have on your website or clients' websites that need to check for, and the difference it can make in ranking with or without it. So, websites have pages, obviously. They're organized in a certain way, and search engines scan the pages looking at certain things. And the first thing is the content, i.e. the words on the page. Now, the old days, there was keyword stuffing. You could just shove the keyword in over and over and you'd rank. But now you cannot do that. Now you have to write quality content about the keyword you are targeting in many cases. But other than content, there are a couple other basic things that make a big difference. So, and you're gonna know these like the back of your hand. And the first thing is the keyword in the title of the page, is the keyword in the description, which isn't as important, but is the keyword in the H1 tag. So remember I showed you this result for the dentists, and there's these X's. Title, description, H1 tag. And that's where Traffic Travis does this. Longtail Pro doesn't do this, but you can do it, manually. Basically, what they're saying is that this keyword, Dentist Franklin, Tennessee, is not in this website's title or H1 tag. Now, if I go to this guy's website, let's see here. It's going to open it in Bing or in Internet Explorer. Oh, Internet Explorer, you had a good run. Actually, you didn't. You had a terrible run. I'm just going to show you what I mean. When we talk about title is what you see when you mouse over here. It's the title of the website. And you can also right-click and view page source, and you can go over here and click find and type title. And you'll see, so their title tag is Franklin Dental Care, Dentist in Franklin, Tennessee. Now, this is why I think Traffic Travis is a little archaic, because, let's see. It's not going to open up for me, is it? That is why Internet Explorer is gone. 1 second. Okay, so you see how it says, it's not in the title tag. There's an X there. Well, yeah, not the exact keyword. But now in the days of Google's new algorithm, this says dentist in Franklin, Tennessee. That's a much better title tag. And we're going to talk about title tags in a second, because it looks like it was written for a human being, not for a search engine. But this is the title. And this is the type of thing you're going to be looking for when you analyze your client sites. So the title tag, as we were saying, this is the easiest thing to screw up or to get right. And it's what shows up in the search engines, and they use it to determine what's relevant. Like I showed you over here, this is the title. Or over here, here's your title tag right here for those guys. And it's what shows up in the search results. So if my title is Seth's Awesome Go-Kart Center, it's going to show up Seth's Awesome Go-Kart Center. And if I Google Dentist Franklin, Tennessee, Franklin Dental Care, Dentist in Franklin, Tennessee, Franklin Dental Care, Dentist in, see how the title shows up right in the search results, and it's also a very nice, easy to read result. So one of the examples I'm going to show you is how I would manage to rank on page 1 with my very low authority site and low authority page because of good on-site optimization. So this is my article about NYU Film School called The Truth About NYU Film School with Pictures, and you can see the keywords right in the title and the keywords in the H1 tag. The H1 tag is called a header tag, and it's just a tag that's on your web page. And this is a tool called Yoast SEO that we're going to show you, where it will actually do an analysis of your page for you and ask, like, is your keyword in the heading, in the page title, in the page URL, and in the content. So again, just like with the off-site stuff, you're going to have a tool that's going to help you figure this stuff out. So here's the power of on-site SEO. If you use Traffic Travis and you search for the term NYU Film School, my domain is in there on the first page. And my page authority is 11. And you can see, though, what's interesting is I'm one of the few of these that does have it in the title and the H1. And let's just do a live search because I love doing this. Let's see here. NYU Film School. Another tip, I'm going to repeat this because I didn't want to, it's such a small detail that won't, but it doesn't make sense until you're in the middle of an SEO conversation, so I can't put it at the beginning. Whenever you do a Google search, you'll see this little icon in the right corner. And if this is highlighted, it's going to give favor to web pages that you've already visited, and that's going to skew your results. What you need to do is you need to click this globe here. This is like the result that anybody would see. You don't want the results to be skewed to favor you, because then let's say you visited a website like I have, let's see here, like 20 times, right? So let's see here. There, I'm on page. So I bounce around. Sometimes I'm on the top of page 2. So you visited this page many times, and then that can skew your results. So you may visit a site 100 times, and then it shows up on page 1, and you're like, oh my God, I'm on page 1. Well, that's only for you. So you got to just hide the private results. Now it turns out in this case, it is, again, Google's always changing their algorithm. I was on position 7 last time. I think you might have seen. Today I'm on page 2. But I'm still, pretty high up in those search results. Right underneath, it's like they're putting a lot more of NYU's actual results in there. But these are all super high authority pages, and I'm actually right up there with them because of the on-page optimization. And I could be doing a lot more to get my article up there first. But again, this is the power of a really good article. So I have another article on NYU Film School, and even though it has technically a higher page authority, which is 15, it just doesn't even show up in NYU Film School. Now Facebook has a little bit to do that, but really it's the quality of the article. So this is the article. Now let's click into it. The reason that I'm up here in front of, like, IndieWire and documentary.org and all these other things is that this article is a very in-depth article. It is super long. I have videos. I have like a little excerpt from my book. Google loves long articles that are in-depth when people are doing research. Info, pictures, videos. Now, sometimes a crappy page will rank too, but this is something you can do on your client websites. If you have a term, say, look, hey, we may not have the authority yet, but we can write a killer article. And, I got a word count here of almost 1,500 words. It's super engaging. The other thing is, if you look at my analytics, Google looks and sees that people are spending about 7 minutes on that page. That's a huge amount of time. The bounce rate, Google will also, their new algorithm will look at bounce rate, but the time on page cancels that out. So if there's a page where someone only spends 30 seconds on the page and the bounce rate's like 90%, then Google says, this isn't really, people don't really like that web page. But they look at this and say, oh, wow, 7 minutes on a page, that people love this web page. We're going to put it up higher in our results, and there you see the results. So you combine the length of the post with the this is why analytics is important and why it also has something to do with SEO. You do a good post that engages people, and even though I did no offsite SEO, it's still ranking high for that term. So Again, you'll see it when we get to the actual bootstrapping experience part of the course. WordPress SEO by Yoast is pretty cool. You can see it checks to see if I have my keyword in my title tag, my H1 tag, the article heading, and the page URL. And you're gonna need to know a little HTML or use the WordPress plugin, which you'll most likely be using. Excuse me. But you can see it does a little checklist for you. And there's a little cheat sheet, again, a little link below this one of these videos on page optimization from Moz. And we're going to get into that because Moz actually has some great articles on search engine optimization in general. There's so many resources on it, but I'm going to point you to the best ones. So again, Yoast SEO plugin. This is like, it's very comprehensive. I didn't really want to get into all of this initially, but now I think you're ready because there's a lot you can do on the page to make it more appealing to Google. And Yoast is always updating their plugin to be more in alignment with what Google likes. So it's going to analyze the page for SEO, the title length, if the title contains the keyword, if images are using what we call an alt tag, which just tells Google what the image is. Keyword density. Keyword density means that basically you have to use the keyword enough to let Google know that this is what this page is about, but you can't overdo it or else you'll get penalized. So you want to have the keyword in the first paragraph of your copy, and Google also knows related terms. So like, it has a whole database of terms, so it sees if you're naturally using terms like, cinema, editing, Scorsese. It knows if you're writing a genuine article or if it's bullshit. People used to use spinners and all this crazy robotic crap they write these terrible articles you couldn't read. Now it can tell if it's written by a human. So it's going to analyze all these factors. The pitfall, now they have something called over optimization, where you can't make it look too good. Like you can't use the keywords too much anymore. But again, if you write a genuine article that people actually read, Google can tell this is a legit thing. So here's a great example of on-site SEO not being utilized and the difference that it makes. So these guys should be ranked higher. You type in Nashville Auto Repair. These guys have a great website, and they're at the bottom here. These guys are at the top, and it's called Hillsborough Village Auto Service. Now, the second result here only has a page authority of 23. But it has the keyword in the title, H1, and the description. These guys, Hillsborough Village Auto Service, have an authority of 31, which is much more than these guys at the top. They've also got 5,000 links to their site, but they don't have any keywords in there. They don't have the they have chosen to use a term for a neighborhood in Nashville, which is Hillsborough Village, versus Nashville. So they could be getting a lot more traffic. And then they could have as their description, we service Hillsborough Village, but they should have something that says we're in Nashville in their site. Now, if you go to their site, it's good that they have the phone number, but they don't mention the word Nashville, and the title says Hillsborough Village Auto Service, one home, which is also like something that should be cleaned up. So all you'd have to do to make a difference with what you just learned so far, if you're an SEO professional, you're working at an agency, you even just know these guys or you want them as your client, you just change those title tags and the H1 tags, and you just include and make it look natural. That's a big important thing. You could even say Hillsborough Village, Nashville, serving Nashville Auto Repair. And boom, that will make a difference in their ranking. They will get higher rankings in Google, more customers, and more money from your knowledge and experience. Their website already has a lot of juice. And I say it's like putting 93 octane gas into a bad engine. You got to make sure the engine is functioning. Make sure the on-site SEO is working. Very simple change. Takes 2 minutes and it makes a huge difference.